How to make classic homemade pizza from scratch. Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're tackling a classic favorite that never gets old, homemade pizza from scratch. If you've ever thought making pizza at home is too hard or time-consuming, stick around because I'm about to show you just how easy and fun it can be. There's something truly special about creating your own pizza. Not only do you get to choose all your favorite toppings, but you also get that unbeatable taste of a freshly baked pizza right out of your own oven. Plus, it's a great way to impress friends and family. In this video, we'll go step by step through the entire process, mixing and kneading the perfect dough, whipping up a delicious homemade tomato sauce, assembling with your favorite toppings, and baking it to golden perfection. So whether you're a kitchen newbie or a seasoned cook, this recipe is for you. Let's dive in and get started. Ingredients overview. All right, before we get our hands messy, let's go over the ingredients and equipment we'll need. Having everything prepared makes cooking a breeze. For the dough, 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 packet of active dry yeast, about 2¼ teaspoons, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/2 cups of warm water, around 110 degrees or warm to the touch, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. For the sauce, 1 can, 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes, 2 cloves of garlic, minced, a handful of fresh basil leaves, chopped, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, salt and pepper to taste. Toppings, your choice. 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. Vegetables, sliced bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, olives. Meats, pepperoni, cooked sausage, ham, bacon. Herbs and others, fresh basil, arugula, pineapple chunks if you're adventurous. Equipment needed: large mixing bowl, measuring cups and spoons, wooden spoon or spatula, rolling pin, or just use your hands, pizza stone or baking sheet, mixing saucepan for sauce. Remember, using fresh quality ingredients will make your pizza taste even better. Feel free to make substitutions to suit your dietary needs: whole wheat flour, dairy-free cheese, or loading up on veggies for a veggie delight. Got everything ready? Awesome. Let's move on to making our dough. Preparing the dough. Making dough from scratch might seem intimidating, but trust me, it's super simple and quite satisfying. Let's get started. Activating the yeast. First, we'll activate the yeast. In a small bowl, combine 1/2 cups of warm water with 1 teaspoon of sugar. The water should be warm but not hot. Think of a comfortable bath temperature. Sprinkle in the active dry yeast and give it a gentle stir. Let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it becomes frothy and bubbly on top. Mixing the dough. In a large mixing bowl, combine 3½ cups of all-purpose flour and 2 teaspoons of salt. Make a well in the center and pour in the yeast mixture along with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Start mixing with a wooden spoon or spatula until a shaggy dough forms. Kneading the dough. Now flour your hands and a clean work surface. Transfer the dough onto the surface and begin kneading. Push the dough away from you with the heel of your hand, fold it back over, give it a quarter turn, and repeat. Keep kneading for about 8 to 10 minutes. This develops the gluten and gives the dough elasticity. You'll notice it becoming smoother and more elastic as you go. Not sure if it's ready? Do the window pane test. Stretch a small piece of dough. If it stretches thin enough to let light pass through without breaking, you're good to go. Letting the dough rise. Form the dough into a ball and place it into a lightly oiled bowl, turning it to coat all sides with oil. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap or a damp kitchen towel. Let the dough rise for about 1 to 2 hours until it has doubled in size. Patience pays off here. Punching down and preparing. Once risen, punch down the dough gently to release excess air. Turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it a few times. This recipe makes enough for 2 large pizzas or 4 smaller ones. You can wrap extra dough tightly and freeze it for up to 3 months. Cover the dough balls with a towel and let them rest for about 15 minutes. And that's it. Your dough is ready. Preparing the sauce. While our dough is resting, let's make a simple and tasty tomato sauce. Homemade sauce brings so much flavor, and it's super easy. Ingredients: 1 can, 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes, 2 cloves of garlic, minced, fresh basil leaves chopped, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, salt and pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Making the sauce. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a saucepan over medium heat. Add the minced garlic and sauté for about 30 seconds to 1 minute until fragrant. Be careful not to burn it. Pour in the crushed tomatoes and stir. Add the chopped basil and dried oregano. Season with salt and pepper to your liking. Bring the sauce to a simmer. Let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. Taste and adjust seasoning as needed. Customize it. If you prefer a smoother sauce, you can blend it with an immersion blender. For a bit of sweetness, add 1 teaspoon of sugar. Like it spicy? Throw in some red pepper flakes. If you're in a hurry, a good quality store-bought pizza sauce works just fine. Once your sauce is ready, set it aside to cool slightly. Assembling the pizza. Now comes the creative part. Assembling your pizza. Let's get everything ready. Preheating the oven. Preheat your oven to 400 to 240 degrees. If you're using a pizza stone, place it in the oven now to heat up. Preparing the workspace. Sprinkle some flour or cornmeal on your countertop to prevent sticking. Shaping the dough. Take one of your dough balls and press it down with your fingertips to flatten it slightly. Using a rolling pin, roll the dough from the center outward, turning it frequently to maintain a circular shape. Aim for a thickness of about 1/4 inch for a thin crust or thicker if you prefer. Transferring the dough. Place your dough onto a piece of parchment paper or a floured pizza peel if you're using a stone. Adding sauce and toppings. Spread a generous amount of your homemade sauce over the dough, leaving about 1/2 inch around the edge for the crust. Sprinkle shredded mozzarella cheese evenly over the sauce. Now for the fun part, toppings. Tips for toppings. Avoid overloading your pizza to prevent a soggy crust. Place meats and hearty veggies under the cheese to prevent burning. Get creative. Veggie lovers delight. Bell peppers, onions, mush olives. Meat feast. Pepperoni, sausage, bacon, ham. Hawaiian twist, ham and pineapple chunks. Margarita, fresh mozzarella slices, tomatoes, fresh basil leaves. Final touches, drizzle a little olive oil over the top for extra flavor. Sprinkle with a pinch of dried oregano or red pepper flakes if you like a bit of heat. Ready to bake. Give the pizza a little jiggle to make sure it isn't sticking to the surface. Baking the pizza. Time to bake our pizza to perfection. Baking instructions. Carefully slide your pizza onto the preheated pizza stone or place your baking sheet into the oven. Bake for about 12 to 15 minutes, but start checking around the 10-minute mark. Keep an eye on it. Every oven is different, so keep an eye on your pizza to prevent burning. Rotate it halfway through baking if needed for even cooking. Removing the pizza. Using oven mitts and a pizza peel or spatula, carefully remove your pizza from the oven. Optional garlic butter crust. For an extra touch, brush the crust with a mixture of melted butter and garlic powder right after it comes out of the oven. Let it rest, allow the pizza to cool for a couple of minutes before slicing. And just like that, your homemade pizza is ready to enjoy. Serving suggestions. Finally, it's time to dig in. Use a sharp pizza cutter or large knife to slice your pizza into wedges. Garnish, top with fresh basil leaves, a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, or a drizzle of balsamic glaze for extra flavor. Side dishes. Pair your pizza with a fresh green salad, garlic knots or breadsticks, a side of marinara sauce for dipping. Beverage pairings. Soft drinks like cola, lemonade, or iced tea. For adults, a crisp beer or a glass of red wine. Enjoy with friends and family. Pizza is all about sharing. Gather around the table, share some laughs, and enjoy the delicious pizza you've created. And that's a wrap. You've just made a classic homemade pizza from scratch. Give yourself a pat on the back. I hope you had as much fun making this pizza as I did showing you how. If you tried this recipe, let me know how it turned out in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more delicious recipes and cooking tips. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy cooking and enjoy your homemade pizza.